Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Hi, I'm Ann Marie, and today's guest is Adrienne Austin. And
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing good. Just want to remind everybody that the civil rights marches were 8 abreast, led by Dr. Martin Luther King, for a 50-mile march at this time. And what year was that?
Oh, God. Early 60s, because we went to the World's Fair in 64, and that happened before that, so I don't remember.
Your family had something to do with your father, and was he part of the marches?
He and my stepmother both marched at least once with Dr. King. He was a friend of theirs, but they lived in New York. You know, most of the marches, as you know, happened down south.
Yeah.
But they took him to Jamaica and encouraged his writing. My father published something of his, and also came out with the first all-black encyclopedia in the world.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. And you were very good friends with the daughter, right?
Yolanda, Yoki, the oldest. Yeah, both of us were the oldest of our tribe, and we had 3 kids underneath us. But the only picture that I have is not of her as an adult, even though that was available, is this one, where I'm right, that skinny little person right there. This is how old I was when all that stuff was going on. So you see, I was very young, and these are Ralph Abernathy's, Reverend Abernathy, his kids, and that's the Reverend up there. Reverend always wears a white shirt, and they're laughing about the stance of his son. So we were all holding hands there on the sidewalk, you know, one of
Adrienne,
each.
what an awesome picture.
So they were having their laughs about it, you know, us being little kids and all, but yeah, it was a strange time because, you know, you're little and you only have a certain kind of understanding of what's going on at the time, and you know it's serious. And I knew about prejudice and everything because, as a matter of fact, I got punished by my stepfather, who was a bigot, when I got out of the car after that fun time, because it turned out that the Reverend's oldest daughter and we both loved to sing, and we were singing like couple of canaries in the car, and we were having such a great time. And when I had to say goodbye to her, it was like my heart just broke, you know. By that time we'd already had nicknames for each other, and I gave her a kiss, you know, on the cheek, you know, and you know, can't wait to see you again. And my stepfather saw that, and so I was punished for that.
What?
And hey, you know, yeah, that was the irony. My father was a civil rights leader, and my stepfather was a horrible, racist, bigot, piece of shit. So,
Your mother really had a difference of taste on that one, didn't she?
boy, did she ever. But that's another story altogether.
Well,
But
you know, that's what moms do, I guess. You know, my
some of
mom,
them, yeah.
my father was a laid-back teacher and somebody that got along with everybody, and my stepfather was, you know, a very dictator-like Holocaust victim from Germany, and with a lot of PTS, and you know, it's the way it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's the bad part about being a mom and getting kids into a new relationship too, I think.
Yeah, my mother definitely had. But back then, we've got to remember our moms were very young and in an age that was so different from what we have now.
You had to
And
have a man. You had to, or you would be
yeah.
left lonely for the rest of your life. That's how it was for them, they thought.
Oh yeah, my mom had I mean, first of all, if you got divorced, you were considered used goods. So you were already in trouble if you got divorced back then.
Right.
And so you were bucking authority like crazy. And if you had kids on top of it, and you were left with these kids, unless you were left with a lot of money, which very few marriages actually had, um, divorce wasn't a status symbol. Divorce was an embarrassment. It was like a brand saying you failed. And now you have all these kids, and who are you going to find to help you out with a whole bunch of kids, inheriting a whole family, not just a mate. So I think that they settle when they find someone they think is going to be stable as a father figure. That's all that matters at that point. It's like they go get back among the married group. I mean, my God, I mean, were you pressured? And your mom, I've met your mom a few times, and she seems more like free-spirited than my mother ever could be.
Mhm.
But I grew up with oh, we're going to have you married by the time you're 15 years old. Now, my mother was not for that, but her mother was, so they were trying to arrange a marriage for me when I was just a little kid. And I had to learn to be a rebel very early. It's like I'm not marrying somebody just because you found someone. I was like, he's the son of a CPA. I'll buy you all new clothes and you can get married. We'll introduce you. They'll fly. I said, what do you mean fly down? You never even met them? No, but it comes from a good family. That's like, oh no. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. I am
Well,
marrying for love.
I think that's why we probably did turn into rebels because both of us were underground coffee house type people. Both of us were musicians. Both of us were writers of a sort and are writers of a sort. Both of us do entertainment on podcasting. Both of us are, you know, very,
Oh, way more outgoing
yeah,
and
outgoing, but also very cerebral. So my feeling is that there's a reason that that is happening, and that's because we both had similar scenarios. It wasn't the same, but
right.
similar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the end things that you have to battle just because the events are not identical. They still need the same kinds of things like, early on we had to battle trust issues and falling for the wrong kinds of guys or misjudging men because our parents misjudged. It's like um if they fuck up, then I'm sorry.
That's all
Like,
right.
so
You can
they
talk.
screw up. If our
Yeah.
parents screw up, they're our first role models. So whether it's for good or bad, we're going to take on some of them, and we're going to find ourselves fighting against what we don't like about them, and they're going to influence us, and we're going to be stuck with certain kinds of emotional issues we're going to have to deal with later on. If we're not getting validation from our family, then we're going to look for it somewhere because as humans, we need to be petted. We need to be approved of and accepted and, loved and all that. And when you grow up without having that security, it definitely affects your worldview and definitely
And
your intimate
I don't see
relationships.
that young women, I mean, absolutely love is still in the picture and everybody wants love. But I feel that the children of this era are not quite as pressured to get married and they seem to have a more laid back attitude. I think with Facebooking and all of this stuff, it's more about how does everyone feel about me rather than how does Billy feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Love is
Yeah, it's
still
it's more
important.
diffused.
Yeah, now it's more a mass group, which makes bullying all the more horrendous because that mass group then takes on the same satisfaction as a boyfriend or girlfriend would have at one time, but it's like um, That's why suicides are happening so fast. But on,
Yep.
on the other
Yeah.
hand, yeah. Well, we have inside. I have not. I do want to encourage everybody that you can. Oops, I need to get my sound off. Hello. Hold on. And there. Okay. And
Okay.
when you go into the video, uh, our
Oh, yeah.
video,
How do I get
you
there?
the link that I sent you,
Oh, good.
and the link I sent you on messages at Facebook, and you will find that link is you can go there and you can be able to in quick a question for Adrienne and I are both readers, and we'd love to
Yes.
be able to give you a reading today. We already have 5 likes on the show, and that's a good
Hey.
thing, and we want to be sure that you get your reading in. So, Miss Shantae, we see you, and Shantae, excuse me, and I will be able to we will give you 2 readings per call. You're getting 80 years or more of reading experience between the two of us. We used to have a radio show together called The Brass
The Brass
Ovary.
Ovary radio show.
Yeah, radio. Yeah, actually. And so we are kind of the survivors of that. Both gone our own
Oh,
ways,
yeah.
but so anyway, feel free
Thank
to
you,
type
Mr.
in a
Garrett.
question there. You can also call into the show for a live phone reading by calling 602 666 6027. All right, I'm going to, okay, Shantae, she says, wow, I would love a reading. I don't know if you see her on the side, or are you
I'm
typing someone
trying to,
else?
it's coming up that my page isn't being found for the YouTube link that you sent earlier.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you right now on
Okay, great.
on the
Messenger.
in Skype. Okay,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
and I don't know that I have it. Here is the I'll just type it right here on this show, right? Oh, but it'll only show in the chat. Where do you want me to go to send you the link?
Well, the easier the better. So I would say you don't want to have to lose your page. What
I would
happened
just,
to you?
you're still here. I see you.
No, okay, no, I see you. Okay, just send it to me in the Skype under Achieve Radio 2, right? Or do you
Okay.
want me to go to your face? Your
I'm
page?
going to, gosh, I don't want to lose my place here on the Skype show. So, um, mm,
Oh, wait a minute. I'll
oh,
send you a face.
okay. Anyway, I want to go to Russell and be sure to give him a reading as he's been waiting. He waited last time, I believe, and I
Oh,
do want to make sure that I get that in. Hold on, we'll be fine, Adrienne. I'll just make sure that
okay. All right.
all you. How about for now? That's still pretty quiet. So I'm just going to give you Russell's question. He is from
Okay.
Ohio. He was offered a part-time job at a drugstore, and he will be back to having 2 jobs at once: the
Hmm.
gas station and the drugstore. So the gas station, it's not an ideal situation, and he'd prefer to have a good full-time job, which he thinks
Right.
is coming soon. But he did a phone interview with a local hospital on Friday and got another phone interview Wednesday. So maybe you can tell him the energy that you foresee for him in the future concerning his job potential and stuff.
Well, right. Excuse me. The first thing I got chills at the hospital thing. So off the bat, I feel like that could be important. But there's 2 different things here that I want you to pay attention to. First, as you're doing these interviews or even just going through the potential interview questions, what you should research on YouTube, how to do a good interview, what they're looking for in an interview. Watch some of those things to add to your education about how to do this well, because the internet rules have made things a little different than the way we interview when we go from place to place and putting in a hand resume. But there are two things here. First of all, to make a note of it. Oh, let's see if we can get the make a note of it. There we go. Make a note of it is, oh, thank you, Annie, is just a reminder that.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, that's good. I know my light needs to be a little bit better, I think. Making a note of it, there we go, is a reminder that you're going to come up with some brilliant ideas for how to handle things, for what to say. But if you don't write it down when you get a little bit stressed, they'll be right out of your head. So carry around a piece of paper and a pen, and anytime you think of anything brilliant or useful, your gut will know if it's useful, but write it down later on when you get busy. Instead of it disappearing, you will have it to look at. Second of all, one or interview or two you're not going to do so great at, not because of you, just because the competition is fierce. So keep this in mind. Apparently, it's not about you. So try not to take anything personally, even though it's hard, I know. When we're interviewing, we're putting ourselves out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Do hone your skills in interviewing by reading up or watching some videos about it. It really does help. Modern interviewing, My sister actually is taking 2 courses on that, how to write a resume in the modern age and how to interview. So clearly the rules are changing and we need to update our information. But the thing that when it says it's not personal, it's just a reminder, like, look, just let it go. Your answer might be the result of somebody else's bad day. You can't always know. You can't always get the feedback that you would like. Like, where did you screw up or where did you do really good? You'll never know. It's a gut thing. You've got to feel it. That's why it's important for you to remember, first of all, just getting a good job is a numbers game. You just have to keep going, and don't take every rejection like it's all about you, because it's not personal. And make notes of it, because you're coming up with good ideas, and you're not an idiot or anything like that. You're coming up with good stuff. Keep at it. You're going to get what you need in the end. But make notes. Keep track of that stuff. And I think
I love your cards. What kind of cards are those?
That one is one of my oldest decks, actually, the Trust Your Vibes deck by Sonia Choquette.
The colors are like brand new.
Yeah, I've been using this deck for 11 years now on the air.
Oh, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they're great. And she did all her own. Yeah, she did all her own art too, which is what I really love about it. So,
okay, guys, I'm going to give Russell a quick reading. We have Gary James. Hi, Gary James.
Hi,
we have Shantae. And I'm going to do Russ real quick. And I really like the Trust Your Vibes deck. I think it's awesome. Okay, so Russ, here's what I have. 2020 is an excellent year for you. The first card that comes up to me is the World. And the World would indicate that this is a year that you can really look forward to accomplishments and to be able to feel like you're getting somewhere. Hold on through February. I believe that, whatever's going on in your life, you may find when it rains, it pours, and that February is going to be one of those months where you have 2 or 3 things coming in at once. So I'm shown all's good. It looks as if February is a time when you're going to be getting something that really latches on job-wise, but as far as the spectacular, all-time, wonderful, phenomenal, full-time job, I'm showing you'll definitely be there in, I'm going to say March. So yes, I do feel it's coming, but be patient. I feel like Adrienne does. You may very well get the hospital job, but there may be a little bit of a wait through February. I don't know, maybe the 3rd week of February. I'm seeing that there may be higher than. Let's go to Chantel. Chantel is in our room, and then we
Hi.
have, she says, I'm from Florida and want to know if any changes are coming up. So go for it, Adrienne.
What kind of changes are you looking at? Florida is a very changeable state right now. So, can you be a little bit more specific in your question? And I'm going
Okay.
to use the
Can
Osho Zen.
you be more specific in what you want for changes?
Yeah, I'm looking here. I found the page. I see us both broadcasting, but I don't see where there's chatting.
Overall, she says, just overall.
Overall, okay. All right. I will do a little Osho Zen readout here. Okay, it would look like part of you just wants to run away from your past. But unfortunately, we can't do that. Our past goes with us wherever we are. And even if it's negative, remember that, now this is going to sound weird, even our pain is kind of a pleasure in just being human. There, you're going to reach a point where you'll understand exactly what I mean by saying that all experiences are valid, all emotions and all feelings are important. This is something important for you right now because you are stuck in a state of comparison. The comparison is not always fair. All right, this is like always saying, well, this is better than that, or this woman has better than I do, or, black and white, this and that. It's just like you can't do that because, like, both of these trees, the oak and the bamboo, they each have their own strengths, they each have their own beauties. But if you are comparing them, you're going to miss the ability to appreciate them for what they are. So right now, I think what you need to do is whatever is going on where you're at, look around you to appreciate that which is still good, look for the value in everything and be grateful because what is coming is a change. And how you do with it is going to depend entirely on your attitude. It can be an adventure that you're walking into, full of rainbows and light and excitement. Or you could be terrified of the dark and you won't allow yourself to take those first steps toward the light because the dark has become so much more familiar and in a way comfortable. If you find yourself holding yourself back because of the past experiences, you're going to have to learn to let those past experiences just be part of your past. They don't have to be carried into the now or the future unless you keep thinking about them and talking about them as if they're still happening. So the past is there. Focus on the now and what you can do to set goals to make tomorrow more of an adventure than something worrisome. And you'll do fine. So life is an adventure. Don't stand around talking about the bad stuff and the downs and condemning it because that's exactly the energy that attracts those kinds of circumstances. So back to the law of attraction, whatever you feel about and you think about and you talk about the most is exactly what you are kind of asking the universe to deliver. So be careful how you're thinking and feeling. Make sure you're feeling and thinking good things. That's what the vibe you want reflected back to you, right? So you'll be okay. Just don't worry. Change is part of life. All kinds of changes. And the only option is this, a flat line, which means you're dead. As long as you're not getting a flat line, you are still alive and you've got opportunity and you've got your brain for working for you. So just remember that, okay? Life is always like that. Right? Your lifeline is always like that. You flatline, oh, I'm so peaceful and everything is perfectly balanced, and you're also not living. So
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
go for it.
What is that called? That's called, it's a certain way of contentment that is actually a stagnant rut.
Yes. Yeah,
What
you
is it
can.
called? That's called, well, it's called settling for less as far as I'm concerned. But
Complacency. You just
complacency, but sometimes we are in situations whether it's due to a disability or whether it's due to joblessness or whether it's due to a crisis in our family or whatever, where we have two choices, and I'm totally in agreement with you about complacency, but I do believe that also it's important to know how to sometimes try to see the best in things
Oh
regardless of the
yeah.
situation,
Oh yeah.
which doesn't necessarily mean that that's not that I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just
No,
saying
no, I agree. I
absolutely.
agree. I
Hmm.
agree. It's complacency is when you're just like you're not doing anything about it. You see it, but you're just trying to make yourself okay with it. And taking action or thinking positive, that's a different vibration altogether. So complacency is like, yeah, I have to live with this way. That's not the same as acceptance, like, okay, this is how it has to be for now. What else can I be planning around it? You're not going to just settle into that spot because like, oh, it's the shit is warm and comfortable because it's warm and it's better than freezing in winter. I mean, there's a point where you've got to say, okay, um, this is where it's at right now, and this is where I need to be to keep my balance. But that doesn't mean you stop planning for tomorrow. To start looking at what do you want to attract into your life, to not just be complacent, but to be exuberant about your life, to be happy about welcoming the coming day. It's if it's just waiting all the time, like I'm complacent, I'm fine. Yeah, like my first husband felt I shouldn't divorce him because he gave me creature comforts. That's how he referred to them, as creature comforts. That's like, but I am not happy just having creature comforts. So the rent is paid. I have food on the table. I don't have to ever worry. As long as we're married, I never have to worry about me being taken care of. But that was not all there was to life for me. So of course, eventually, that had to end.
Okay,
But
I do want to say that we're getting a packed chat room in the video,
oh, well, let's
and
rock on.
I just want we're going to have to probably do maybe 5 or 6 minutes each.
Got it.
So Gary James is next, but we want to first of all, and your insight is amazing, and thank you so much, Adrienne. So I want to first of all give you a very, very quick reading. Um, on what you were asking. Was it Shantae? Was that what you're reading
Yeah,
for? Or
Shantae,
was
about
that, yeah,
change, right?
Shantae.
About changes, any
Shantae,
changes coming.
I'm just going to give you a 3 card reading because our room is piling up. And here's what comes up. I have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands can indicate a couple of things. It can indicate that either there's somebody in your life that cares about you, but at the same time, maybe, or that you care about that may be related to your past, and you cannot forget about them. In which case, that would be kind of like what Adrienne was saying. That would be hanging on to the idea of someone from your past that would be creature comfort or settling for less. It says it's time for you to understand that you have to face the music.
Mm.
Something bogus happened in the past. You need to accept it, embrace it, and say, so be it. Everything's okay. Tough times make strong people. And my feeling is that in the long run, Shantae, this is a very motivated episode in life for you in 2020 that's going to lead you to new love and to new circumstances, but it's also really important that you let go of an old dream or an old expectation. Now that's what comes up, baby girl, and I'll go and elaborate on that later. Yes, it's your past. I agree. And as far as she said about your reading, um, it said, what was it she said? She said, so true about what you told her.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
we have Gary James, and
Hi, Gary.
what is his next move? Gary, you need to specify what you mean. I that's a very specific yet at the same time obscure question. So if you're going to be specific, then you're going to have to try to be a little less obscure. What is it that you feel in your next move is that you're concerned about? And we'll sure go for that. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. You know how chat goes. It rolls down and down and down. And let me see. Uh, I'm looking to see. Oh, okay. Who is this? Okay. Positive for Life is also. I'm Positive for Life. I did not see you. We will definitely get to you. Uh, and I'm sorry, but we'll go after James because it looks like you're higher up in the chat. Okay. So again, we're going for Gary James. And I'm looking to see, and Eleni Celsi has just joined, and she wants to know how David feels. You guys, we have to take people one at a time. So the main thing, Gary James, what is his next move? When Joseph and I get someone that does not specify, we just tell them what comes through. So Adrienne, just go through with what comes through on Gary James.
Okay, I've got a couple things for you, Gary. First of all, whatever it is you're thinking about doing, you need to sleep on it, buddy. This is not the time for you to make fast or rash decisions. You need to have all the information. And in the meantime, cloak yourself in light, walk the higher path. Whatever you do, do not break any hearts, and that includes your own. Take things slow.
Sounds
On
good.
to you, Annie.
Gary, because we're keeping these readings a little shorter so that we get through to the people in the room, and I have to check my studio too to see if we've got people there. It says, face the music, Gary. Something has not been improving in your life. It's right side up. This means hanging on to what you feel you need while looking forward for something better to come in the picture. But it's upside down, which means that you've been going stagnant, Gary. You've been hanging on to something or a dream or whatever it is, and you need to just get a fire under your butt and move forward. Your reading says that you have to face the music, and again, I have the world, but it says kind of like what Adrienne just said about the client before, or the person before. You are at a time where something around you is not improving. Understand that that is an indication, without someone yelling it in your face, that and take the how do you say, the proud way, take the humble way but the proud way, and say, hey, if something isn't working out and it's not going to my favor and it's not looking like I've got any answers, you remember the one thing that I always know is, when in doubt, do nothing is okay, but when in doubt, make a time frame for yourself and make something happen for yourself. Don't hang on and to stagnation. So what's your next move? Just move. Do something, but don't hang on to something that is not working for you, Gary. Okay, that's what we have. All right, we have Lori. I want to make sure that I get you, and I have, let me see, who did we have here? We had, I saw her, but okay. Until I see the Elanzi Selassie. I'm sorry I can't say her name. How she wants to know how David feels about her. But first, we're going to look at Lori because she's next in line. Lori,
Okay, Lori.
honey. Lori's question was, and I'm looking, up, seeing, and I think Lori just wanted an angel message reading or something that would give her some positive, view on things. So I'm just going to, and then Positive for Life will get to you too. And Elanzi will get to you. Okay, well, Positive for Life, you have to wait. We're doing Lori right now, so we'll get to you in a second. And hang in there, baby girl. Okay. All right.
Okay.
3
Should
card
I rock it?
readings. Yep.
Okay, Lori. You have a lot of creativity in you, and it may be inspiring you to maybe think about being your own boss again or still. Bottom line is you got the Venus card influencing your business, meaning if you love what you're doing, it's never really work. But when you love it
That's
enough
interesting
to
because
make
she
it your
just said she
business.
wants a reading. She just said she wants a reading on love and trust. So there you go. You just hit both of them at the same time.
Well, yeah, you need to be able to trust the person, and the only way to trust is to try trusting. And it is hard when you have trust issues, but there is no other way. There's no amount of words that can
Well,
talk you
business.
into
She has her
trusting.
own business too. So
Oh, she has her own
yeah.
business. Well, okay, then I'm going to tell you what you need to do. If you can get out in nature and spend some time by yourself and do some meditating out there, like a walking meditation, your head will clear. Please listen to your gut. Your creativity is coming through stronger and stronger. Honor your creativity, guides. Honor your creativity. And be true to that before you worry about a person. A lot of times, you get in with the person and everything becomes about them, and your energy gets pulled away from the stuff that really needs your attention. So you've got to make a decision. What's more important right now? Love, if it's really love, that's a relationship thing that has to develop over time, and there is no other way around that. And if it's business, if you love what you do, then you'll spend more time doing that. So if you're torn between two lovers, your business and a guy or gal, then you have a hard choice to make. But creativity and some space to meditate is what is being requested of you.
And I will compliment what you just said because what I got is that she seemed to be feeling as if the responsibility and commitment to her business is something she wants and she wants to feel honored and respected for, but it shows so much insecurity as if someone on the sidelines is not necessarily giving her the feedback that she needs to be able
Mm.
to stay with what she wants. And it shows in the future that the creative potential needs to be based on your original desire. If you are doing something for yourself because you want to do it, then do it. But if you're doing it because you feel obligated and you're finding yourself torn between people, go ahead and be selfish. Do what you want to do. That's what I see. Okay, we're looking at the room, and we have Russell is in here. Ohio says okay, we have that, and we have Russell still. We have Jan. Hi, Anne Marie. I please have a reading. What's coming up for me? Anything you see? Okay, Jan, I'm going to hand you over to Adrienne, and
That's the name.
Jan, huh?
That's the
No,
name.
I was just looking at all these different names in front of me, so I was like,
Right.
yeah. So Jan she just wants a reading on
Well,
anything,
while
but we
I'm
have to
doing
keep it
that, I just have to, and she has some good cards here. So while I'm doing your cards,
good.
I just want to mention that if you want a good read, then you need to check out Anne Marie's book because I know she's too modest to mention it, but Soliloquy is
Oh,
freaking awesome. And I'm only halfway through it, which is why I haven't left a review yet, but I can already tell you it's a 5-star review because she's a really insightful writer. And so is her mother.
thanks.
So the two of them together
Yes,
put out an
we
awesome
are
book.
we are a good team. And
Yeah.
I also want to suggest that you read Adrienne's book on Omeris because she is a sci-fi reader or kind of I would
Sci-fi
say uh,
fantasy. Yeah.
fantasy. And my God, I swear you're taking acid when you write these books because I look at you and you're looking so fine and refined. And when you read your books, you're just like in Fantasia. So
Thank you.
I would say if you love dragons, if you love goddesses, if you love, uh, the world of magic, please do read Adrienne Austin's books. She has a series on Nomaris. All right.
Thank you
Now
so
that we've given
much.
each other,
Well, now we
we've
pitch.
given each other.
I knew you were going to be too modest to say anything, but anyway, darling, you're sharing. This is the Empress card. This is a woman with many gifts, and you don't have to be enticed too hard to share them, okay? You probably happen to be a good cook or handy in the kitchen, or at least you know what to order if you're not. The sharing card, though, is about more than sharing your food. It is sharing your hospitality, your goodness, your kindness, and smiles. The world needs your smiles right now. And this is your power. You're bringing light into the world. This is one of the things that you are here for. And when you look in your heart, you know it. So, and the reason I can say that you're looking into your heart right now is because you got the no thingness card in the middle. The no thingness is not a lack of things. It's like when you get into that quiet space where you're daydreaming and suddenly you realize like, oh, where was I? Because you went so far out in your daydream, you don't even know where you were. That's that no thingness. That's the place where creation starts to gather its energy to burst into the world and manifest. So we have to go there on our inner creation platforms before anything is brought into the world. And if you would like to travel, mind or body, it looks like with this, there's a lot of stuff going on right now that's up in the air. Don't freak out about it. Just get into everything like it's an adventure. Don't hide from anything right now. Just look at everything right in the eyes as it comes up, like a true, like an Indiana Jones. Okay, only hotter because you're a female. And just grab that life and go, yeah, I am the Empress. And what I say shall be, shall be. And this is your power. So it's time for you to make your presence known. And good or bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever, you smile at it and then you say, I know my power. You can't get over on me. I know what to do now. And you clear yourself and the answers will come. So you're entering a very interesting period, a powerful period. So congratulations on that.
Okay, we have, okay. And so I just want to say that we have Tina next, and she has a problem with feeling blocked. And okay, Positive for Life is there. Okay, so Positive for Life, you're next. Make sure that you type out your question so I don't have to try to chase you down. I'm going to say the most important thing, and I'm going to do this one first just so we have a little variety and we'll go back and forth. This is, again, Tina feels very blocked, and I'm going to look at why that may be. So when I look at why do you feel blocked, what comes through first is that you have to watch out for being the visionary that doesn't take action on your dreams. In other words, having 1,000 creative dreams is the most spectacular thing. But some people feel that once they have the dream and it's been formulated from the fog and into the front of their brain and they've put it out there, for some reason they stop working on it because they feel as if in some way it's already been done. Or if it hasn't been done, then go on to the next dream. So what I'm saying is be careful of being the visionary who doesn't take action on your dreams. Your reading says that the most important thing you can remember, sweetheart, is that you may be self-sabotaging. And how so? Well, you may be self-sabotaging because it's beautiful to have dreams, but when you start analyzing them to the point where all you're thinking about is, well, then there's this problem and there's that problem, and you start formulating all of the negatives rather than the positives, guess what happens? You let the dream go. So your reading is saying, stop overanalyzing. Stop making so many dreams and then giving up on them so soon. One baby step in front of the other. It doesn't matter how many creative, wonderful, beautiful visions you have or goals you have if you can't put your foot in front of the other to get one done and then another done and then another done. Remember the slow movement. What is the slow movement? The slow movement is slowing down a chaotic world because we are going so fast and we're always 10 steps running ahead of ourselves in our heads so that we can't even savor a dream to put action behind it because we're going so fast. So slow down.
This is
All right, that's
exactly
what
what
I
I
see.
got her. The
Is
first
it?
part that I got was, look at that, take your time. That you've got to remember this one sentence, all pressure is self-imposed. World's not pressuring you to make up your mind about anything.
Oh.
All right, you have to first of all take the time to, like what Annie said, if you're going to focus on a dream, you've got to take your time and focus on that dream. You have to have laser focus and take one little step at a time, one achievable goal at a time. All right, otherwise, if it's too overwhelming, you kick it right out like, I can't do it. And she also pointed out this very important factor, that if you are
Take your
sitting there thinking,
time.
yeah, take your time. And also, what do you love? If you are sitting around figuring out all the reasons and ways your idea can totally bite the dust, then you are setting yourself up. You're not telling yourself or the universe what you love. You're telling the universe and yourself what you're afraid of, and that's what you're going to get right back. All right? It's like attracts like when it comes to energy. So if you're sitting there feeling all screwed up, blocked, shut down, all the negatives, and that's all you're thinking about over and over and over again, that's exactly what the universe is mirroring right back down to you. There you go,
Yeah.
honey. There's your lousy feeling,
Yes.
because that's what you keep asking for.
Here's
The
another one.
universe, yeah, the
Here's
universe
another
doesn't know. Yeah, exactly. Here's another reason. So focus on what you like. That's what you should be talking about, what you love, what you want, what you're working on. It should always be in the positive. This is going on now. Not, I'm so afraid I'm going to fuck this up tomorrow. Because everybody does some of that. But if that's your major feeling, a major thought, that's exactly what you're asking for. Universe is simply going, here you go. We don't make a judgment. The universe makes no judgment on good, bad, beautiful, ugly. It's you that makes the demand and your energy inviting it in. So, what do you love? Focus on
Yes.
that.
Yes. So, happy birthday. You just had the first step towards slowing down.
Take
All
your
right.
time. Take your time.
It isn't just about a retirement thing. It's about every day in everybody's life. All right. Okay, so we're going to go to Positive for Life. And
I love
Positive
that.
for Life says, may I ask, will everything still work out for me to move this spring or summer?
Oh, I'm not sure I want to pull cards on that. They say if you are expecting to meet unpleasant people, you will. If you expect the place that you're moving to have a variety of experiences like it does everywhere, you will get what you expect. If you're looking for the bad, you will find the bad. If you're looking for the good, you will find the good. So, will everything happen exactly as you're planning right now? Probably not, this being Earth and you being human. But will it go mostly to plan? Yeah, as long as you're taking your time doing things right now and you check with your gut. Your three brains in your body, the one in your head, the one in your heart, the one in your gut. If they all match up and say, yes, let's go ahead with this plan, then you're cool. If any part of your body it starts disagreeing with you and getting tense and upset and sick, it's saying, slow down, you're not making the right choice in the moment. So try out different feelings, different ideas, and see which one fits your body better. Your body will always let you know. And your brain, you've got to use all your senses together. We're not just 4, 5, 6 dimensional or 6 sense people. We have like up to 20 senses. We are multi sensual people. So I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but I know we're multidimensional. So just if you just said
Nasty
it,
things went through my head.
you're going to have to calm down, because life is going to be pretty much what you expect it to be, because you are in the process of creating tomorrow with everything you're thinking, feeling, and doing today. So if you think you're screwing up today, guess what tomorrow's going to look like? But if you know you're making a good choice in general and you're going in the direction of your dreams and you still feel good about it, then trust yourself and just go for it. I don't need cards for that. You have your own gut. Practice using it. You're your own best psychic, honey. So congratulations on your move. I'm sure you are going to do just fine.
Positive for life, I'm shown that, thank God, you have wonderful friends and great connections, because it says this is the step towards a wonderful 2020. The next card I got shows you surrounded by family and by the feeling that this is a great year for getting your family life, your home life, and your career back on track. And the last thing I show is the Ace of Wands, which shows that that is the best you can have in creative potential, dreams, and happiness. And so I would say, yes, it looks very, very good for you. Enjoy. All right. Well,
Nice.
I tell you what, we're on almost time to close.
Wow.
I don't know if you have any short meditations that you do that
I can
discuss?
I can do a real quick one. Okay,
All
everybody
right.
now,
Go for it.
if you're used to doing meditations with me, you know we inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, like we're blowing out candles. Close your eyes when I count to 3. Just follow me in the theater of your own mind. 1, 2, 3. Close your eyes, and you are standing outside in the dark on this nice cool grass. You're barefoot, and it's beautiful out. When you look up in the night sky, you see billions and billions of stars. Just stare up into those stars, and you're staring so hard you feel like you're getting sucked right up into the sky with them. In fact, you suddenly realize you're standing on a little star yourself, and it's a little gray ball of energy, and you're standing on it. But you're quite secure. And all around you, you see others just like you, standing on little balls of light. And they're getting lighter and lighter, and you're feeling that light coming up through your feet, into your body, up through your legs, into your torso, out through your arms, out through your hands. Stretch out your arms to the sides and feel that light go right through your body, out your hands, and putting out like laser beams from each hand straight out into space until they reach another who's doing the same. And you feel that connection. And one after another, everybody is connecting through the energy coming out of their hands. And we are in the sky stars ourselves. And now the light comes out the top of our heads, and we are glowing and light and floating in space, but all connected securely, forming a huge net of light across the galaxy. There's a name for this. It is called Indra's net, when we all recognize our own divinity, our connection to each other, our absolute unity. Namaste.
Namaste. Love you, Adrienne. Bye-bye.
I love you, Annie. Thanks. Bye-bye, honey.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com.